to anyone outside the UK, whenever the UK bitches about a heatwave, being like, it's only 27 degrees, over here we're at 40 degrees and chilling and cooling, relaxing, all cool. Fuck off! You haven't been in this city. It's a brick house city. It's hot all the fucking time. Yo soy canario en Las Palmas. Llévame a Wiwi, llévame a Las Palomas. I've dealt with 30 plus degree heat. There's no fucking air in this city. No hay aire. Nada. You get on the tube, you get on the overground, it's all shit. And people love queuing very close to each other. It's hot. So, when you see me bitching about 27 grados, 27 degrees, no, da 27 in Canarias, with a bit of brisa, a bit of breeze, good vibes, but here, depression sticks to you like heat. So I'm not hearing shit from anyone that's not in this fuck-ass country talking about the weather. Stay hydrated, people, and wear sun.
What are you talking about?
We need more goals. We need more quality, but we're not just
talking about January.
We're not just going to bring in anybody. We need to bring in quality, but not just anybody, right?
No, you're talking about January.
Why did we bring in Sterling?
Because when they brought in Sterling, they made the mistake of just bringing in anybody.
Exactly. They brought in anybody. So bring in any
but I'm putting the whole Sterling situation on everybody.
What the fuck?
We need more.
You got Gabriel, character. Raya, character. Timber, character. Rice. Even Odegaard's got character. He never hides. He might not be having the best form in the world, but he does not hide.
I agree.
But so don't hide, fam. He never hides.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The answer. I got the answer. So
he's got a chat GPT, Dan.
The phases go like this. Arteta's phases: culture, character, challengers, champions, and consistency.
No, you're
this is what.
Am I in
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Right?
Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN Caramba. Let me tell you this. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to each one of these great panelists that we got today. The link to everyone's channel is in the title. Make sure you're subscribing, because in this heat, I expected none of the panel to be available. So the fact that they're giving up their time and, you know, making time for the show, big up to every single one. We'll start with Shane. What are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, all good, man. The heat's not so bad over here, actually. I was even considering closing the window. It's actually nice and cool, man. Up the mountains, getting a nice cool breeze coming down off the hills, man. I know you're sweltering over there, but yeah, all good, man. All good. Been doing a lot of streams today, but I've been looking forward to this one. I missed the last couple with other things going on and stuff like that, so I'm glad to be here and glad you asked me to come on. And big up to all the other legends on the panel as well as yourself and the legendary chat. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Now, big up Shane, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Shane. The link to his channel is in the title. And yeah, man, blessing for always jumping on and always making time for the show. I appreciate it. Jez, you still on holiday?
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
You still on holiday?
Yeah. No. We're going to be here to the end of August, man.
How hot is it there?
Today was actually quite nice. It's actually down to 34. And we've got a nice big storm coming in tonight. I can hear the rumble of the thunder coming down from the Alps.
Wow!
And, looking forward to that, man, because it's going to apparently absolutely belt it down with rain tonight, and that's going to chill it out. We desperately need rain here. Everything is so dried up, and looking forward to it, man. Massive. I'm looking forward to seeing the big thunderstorms over there on the. Towards the east, and it's all good, man. So it's nice. Like yesterday, it was 38, which was mental. Too hot for me, way too hot for me. But yeah, it's going to be down to tomorrow. It's going to be down around 28. I can handle that. That's nice.
No, I hear it, man. Big up to Jez. Jez is Arsenal. Make sure you're subscribing to Jez's channel as well. Link is in the title, and appreciate you jumping on, making time while you're on holiday. You know what I mean? So big up to you. And Carl, what you say, man?
Cheers, everyone, mate. Much appreciated. Yeah, just trying to stay as cool as I can, but work's been absolute nightmarish. I was going to try and stream before jumping on with you tonight, but I was like, it's too hot at this, so I just did a simple upload. So it's up on my channel right now. But yeah, it's just been crazy hot to deal with. Looking forward to actually cooling down tomorrow a little bit because my boy's struggling to sleep in this heat. I've done everything I can for him, but he is just struggling. So yeah, it is what it is. If you've got kids and they're tossing and turning at night and waking you up 2-3 times in the night, it's torture, absolute torture in this heat. But nothing me whinging and complaining. Big up to the panel. I hope everyone's all well.
Nah, big up, man. Big up, man. I love a whinge. I love a complaint. I swear down. It's either too cold.
No complaining. No complaining. No, sorry, I'll do him out here. No complaining in the Madrid heat in 3 weeks. Don't you dare.
Well, bro. You know what? I started thinking, you know what? It would have been better if I picked Barcelona because at least there's the seaside. Do you know what I mean? I could just go in for a swim and then come back out. But it is what it is. We'll make it work. We will make it work. But big up Carl every single time. Carl's channel, Gun Down UK, is in the title as well. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and supporting. Matty, how hot is it over there in the USA, man?
Today it is about 96 degrees. Let me see. I need to see. Let me see what it is. Let's just see. So we can do a comparison here. It is
50.
No, it's excuse me. It is a beautiful. It's the humidity is the problem down here where I'm at. So it feels like it's hotter than what it is because it's the wet air. So it's about 88 degrees. So it's not too bad today. So chilling. It's a decent day. Last week was a little bit different. Next week be a little bit different. But hey, I'm in air conditioning.
Bro.
And Jez, I'm jealous because the way you were describing that thunderstorm coming down the Alps, I wish I was there with my camera. I would love to photograph. I can only imagine how beautiful that is with the light show coming down like that. So
I'm looking forward to it.
You got to take some pictures, man. Take some pictures.
I'll have a go. I've only got a phone, so I don't know. But I'm looking. Apparently, when the thunderstorms come, they are spectacular.
Yeah.
They'll come up over the Alps there. The Alps is probably an hour away over there. I'm going to sit out there because it's just so warm. I'm just going to sit out there with a glass of wine and wait for it to come, and then just see if I can get some good pictures.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
I'm not a photographer though, Matty. I'm not a photographer. So.
Hey man, you can use that camera phone.
That's it. Listen, we're just gonna do it conversation wise. I'm not gonna go one by one. We'll just let each other land each other's points. We were told 1st of July, be patient. 1st of July, we're gonna start making moves. And the only move I saw today is Kepa, something that we already knew days ago, weeks ago. What do you guys think of that? Because you already know I'm not impressed. How are you guys feeling? Yippee, Kepa, 1st of July.
Well, I mean, we all knew that was coming. And I'd mentioned last week that they were going to do this anyway. I said they're going to wait. They're going to roll everybody out all at one time. You're going to get Kepa today. You'll get Zubamendi sometime this week. And the clues are there because they're releasing, ticker tape parade intro videos for Kepa. So they've worked on this. They've had all this stuff done for over a week. They've been sitting on all this stuff. They're just dripping, information. Well, dripping signings left and right, but they're not dripping the striker signing. We keep hearing one day it's this person, one day this person, one day this person, one day this person. Only Arsenal gets stupid business done immediately. Okay, Kepa's coming in. It's amazing to me because I've heard our fan base. Oh, I've got you. I've got some of y'all clipped. This fan base has been going on and on about this Kepa. Oh man, he's coming in. He can do a job. He's great. He's saving us money. This and the third. Nobody was begging for Kepa when he went to Chelsea. Nobody was upset. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was getting on panels. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, man, we gotta get Kepa. We gotta Kepa's coming in. He's coming in. He's coming in. He's gonna do a job. Everybody can do a job until they get here. And then when they can't do a job, nobody knows what to do. And everybody's like, oh, this is just a stopgap. He's only going to be here for a little bit. To my understanding, I think I heard today 3 years. I'll let that sink in. Kepa is going to be at this club for 3 years. That is he is the seventh. I think he's the seventh goalkeeper that this manager signed since he's been here. Let that sink in. You know,
$100,000 a week as well.
On $100,000 a week. So for me, he's here, and I don't want to hear anything from any top gunner when we get into these Carabao Cups and we start seeing these gaffes. I don't want to hear anything because I'm going to remind a lot of people how excited they were about when Kepa came to this football club, when we could have just simply kept Carl Hine and just been done with it. That was something that was not even at the top of the priority list this summer. But this manager finds a way to make a goalkeeper at the top of his priority list. So that's my 2 cents.
I'm just saying, I am completely and utterly underwhelmed with this. In fact, I'm annoyed by it. I'm tired of hearing Prem proven. This is the new one they have, Prem proven. All that Kepa has proved in the Prem is that he's shit, right? Everywhere he's been shit. Oh, but at Bournemouth, he was making saves. Yeah, he was having a rake of shots taken on him. They had a good look at him. They had a year to look at this guy, and they didn't want to keep him for £5 million fucking pound, man. Why are we taking players that Bournemouth don't want? Why are we taking players that Chelsea don't want? And why on earth does it keep getting dressed up all the time? I'm tired of it being dressed up by these top gooners, especially these big channels that are saying, what a signing. Oh, it's back up. I'm with Maddie. I've said it. He's not better than Karl Hine. He's not, because we know that Kepa is awful. This isn't taking a chance on a keeper that has proven that he's decent at times. All he's ever proven is that he's awful. He's absolutely awful. So I'm tired of the narrative of the goalpost being moved. I'm tired of Sky Sports saying cut price deal. Why did you mention his wage? Why do you never mention his wage? Cut price deal. Throw his wage in. He's on more than Ederson. We are paying this guy $100,000 a week. They're talking about wage. You have Gal's putting up, oh, we're getting Norgard and he's only going to be on $40,000 a week. We haven't even signed him. Maybe you know what he's on. There's no way he's going to be on what he's on at Bournemouth or at Brentford. He'll be a minimum doubled. He'll be doubled. And the same goes for Zubamendi. Oh, he'll be on $100,000 a week. He'll be on minimum 180. I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong, but I know my club, man. I know my club. This Kepa signing is 7 goalkeepers. He's had more goalkeepers signed than he's been years at the club. And let's remember, he let a future World Cup winning goalkeeper go. If he had just kept Martinez, we never would have had this problem. Oh, he's Prem proven. I'm tired of hearing Prem proven. I'm tired of hearing made up buzzwords for these players are signing. Oh, Norgard's a search and destroyer. Get out of me. Just stop it. It's okay to say we did something wrong. Just say it. You'll feel better. We did something wrong. You don't have to keep dressing it up. And the reason that they dress it up for most of them is that they're in the club's pocket. And they have lowered the standard, all these guys, all these semi-U's, all these AFTVs. AFTV brought out something on how good a deal it was to get Norgard, because if you add up Norgard and Zubamendi's wages, it's less than what Thomas Partey's on. No, it's not. Are you telling me that combined they're going to be on less than $200,000 a week? Barefaced lies to lower the standard. They lower the standard. And then they have the gall to get upset when Sesko wants a buyout clause. You don't get to get upset when Sesko wants a buyout clause, because these are the guys that have lowered our standards. They've lowered our standards publicly to the point where Sky Sports talk about us like also rounds. Oh, you know, Arsenal fans are getting a bit greedy. They should be proud of the journey, all that stuff. They have lowered the standards so low that we are looking at players like Norgard and Kepa. And we will get mad wakey as well. I called that weeks ago, man. We're going through Chelsea's bins. We're going through the bins of a team that aren't as good as us. This Kepa signing is just yet another nail in this coffin. We didn't need him. We did not need him. We needed to keep that money and spend it in other places. But this is what we're dealing with Arsenal. And it's only going to get worse, people. It's only going to get worse.
I personally, the way I look at this is with slight disappointment. Once again, we're acting like a mediocrity club with Kepa. We know he can be petulant. We saw that when he refused to get substituted. I'm surprised that Arteta went for this guy because Arteta doesn't like anybody with actually any bollocks about him. So 5 million, not a lot of money. 100 grand a week, a lot of money. Will he play much? I don't think so. As long as Raya stays fit, I think we're only going to see him in the carrier bag and probably the FA Cup because we know how Arteta disrespects the two domestic trophies. Is he a good signing? Well, if he was that good, why didn't Bournemouth buy him? That's my question. We've let back a player, a goalkeeper, we loaned from Bournemouth to bring in another loan-in goalkeeper from Bournemouth. All right, he's Chelsea. He's a Chelsea player, as you say. But is he a decent backup? I'd say he probably is. He is proven. Is he that good? I can't answer you that. I haven't watched him enough. But I do know he's petulant. Now, I'm amazed at that. That's what I said. That Arteta has gone in for this guy because Arteta doesn't like people that will challenge him. And that is a problem in itself. But 5 million, it's not a big investment, is it? Let's be right. 100 grand a week, is he worth that? Well, we'll see. I don't think he's going to get a lot of time, personally. Unless Raya gets injured, let's be honest, most goalkeepers stay pretty fit. So I ain't that worried about it, if you want my honest opinion.
Do you know what's mad, Jez? I just saw today, according to the Evening Standard, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus are all interested in getting Thomas Partey. So the player, look at the standard of club in for the player that we've allowed his contract to run down. And look at the type of player we're bringing in. Were those kind of clubs in for Kepa? Were they looking at Norgard? Were they interested in Garnacho? Were they interested in Rashford? Are they interested in Sesko? You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. What does Barcelona see in Partey that we don't? What does Atletico see in Partey that we don't? What does Juventus see in Partey that we don't?
They've got a manager, mate. They've got a manager who will actually play him in the right position. He won't play him at bloody right back, and he'll give him the position and the depth that he needs, which our manager hasn't. Our manager has purely frustrated him for the last 2-3 seasons. We all saw it last season. Or was it the season before? I can't remember now. We went on pre-season, right? Partey had a decent pre-season. First game of the season, he sticks him right back. What was that about? But this is the clown manager we have. He likes to mess things about and try and make himself be out the big next technical manager when he clearly isn't technical at all. He's got no tactics apart from his one game A. He doesn't have the ability to mix it up and come out of a plan B. If he had that, right, then we would have won a Premier League by now. Darren Arteta is not a clown, Jez. He's a clown. The guy's a muppet, man. Yeah, you can sit there and defend him all you like, buddy. But at the end of the day, tell me anything different about why he's good. Tell me. Obviously, I'm missing something here.
You see this comment, Jez, yeah? Sometimes you just have to move on, Northside. Yeah. What's the matter with that? You know what the matter is with that? The matter with that, yeah, is I've seen Patrick Vieira go to Inter Milan. I've seen Thierry Henry go to Barcelona. I've seen better players move on from this club. But when we're moving on a player, at least get me the same level, if not better, ideally better. That is my problem. And I'm not seeing that. What does getting out, if we get out Martinelli and Trossard, is Garnacho an upgrade? Is Rashford an upgrade? Is that an upgrade? Because it's not for me. Jesus, injury prone. We get rid of him. Is Sesko an upgrade? Can anyone really sit here and give me a valid reason that Sesko's an upgrade from Jesus? We're getting rid. Okay, we sent Sterling back. Garnacho and Rashford level signings, that's not an upgrade for me. It's not an upgrade. Can anyone tell me for a fact that Norgard is an upgrade from Thomas Partey? If so,
Absolutely not.
please show me a video of you please show me any video of anyone that believes that months ago, before we were linked to this guy, or even weeks ago, before we were linked to Norgard, that you would take Norgard over Partey, or the next DM that you wanted was Norgard. Because I kept hearing man talking, waxing lyrical about Zubimendi. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not convinced. This Mascara guy from Valencia that finished 12th last season in La Liga, is he an upgrade on Kivior? I don't even think Kivior's all that. Is he an upgrade? Was Calafiori an upgrade on Zinchenko? So when you're saying, we've got to move on, I have no problem moving on. But then go get me the players that match the promises that you promised us as a fan base, which is to get world-class players, to get over the line and win major honors. That's my problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen legends of this club. Everyone here on this panel seen legends of this club leave. We've seen ballers leave this club. But at least go out there and do your maximum to go and get proper players to get us to the line. That's my problem. Because I'm looking at this player here. I don't know if any of you guys seen this. We've been linked to Olympiakos' 18-year-old centre midfielder called Christos Mozakis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, I'm not Greek. Christos Mozakis, or something like that. Who the fuck is this guy? Is this guy gonna raise the levels? This is what I'm talking about. Now, is this guy gonna win us a Champions League? Is he gonna win us a Prem? Like, is this the signings that we're doing? This 18-year-old Christos from Olympiakos. I think he had like 19 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist last season. What are we doing? But these are the players that we're being linked to. And then people are saying, but you got to move with the times, players move on. Is this what we was promised? Because this is the type of signing, that you guys were justifying in phase 1, saying it's catch-up money. These are players, we're building something. Now when we're supposed to be getting world-class players, top-level players, we're now back to phase 1 players. This is what we're linked to. I don't know.
Norgard world class? Because I'm sorry, am I missing something here right now? Because I honestly believe that in years gone past, when you let a player go, you bring a better player in. It's called progression. That is what football clubs of any culture, any ability, any ambition do. Two things there, people: progression and ambition. I'm not seeing that with this lot. I'm not seeing any of that. Because why? Common denominator. A manager that is crap.
Yeah.
Simple. And if people don't like it, then bugger off.
Yeah.
Because
then
you accept failure. Sorry, mate. If you want to accept failure, progressive failure, right? Because you don't want the club to win, because that's what you are saying by not accepting the club is crap, the manager is crap, we're not getting the players in that are bettering the players we got. So there you go. Failure.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Apparently we're comparing the wrong players, according to Darren. We're not comparing Partey to Zubimendi. I haven't seen Zubimendi in an Arsenal jersey. I haven't seen him sign yet. And even if he does, Partey's a better player than Zubimendi. Yeah. Zubimendi's not Prem proven, as you all like to say. Zubimendi has the potential to be a very good player. But Partey was getting put in PSG combined 11s by most of these top gooners, if not all of them, a month and a half ago. He was getting put in ahead of Vitinhas. He was getting put in ahead of what is possibly the best midfield in Europe. You guys were putting him in that midfield. You were putting him in combined Madrid 11s. Partey was the be-all and end-all. We lost it. We only lost the first leg against PSG because Partey was suspended. That was a month and a half ago. Now his legs are gone. Now he's trash. Now he makes mistakes. Oh, and his off-the-pitch stuff. You see, the difference with us is we pick a point that we believe in and we stick to it. You guys flip-flop all over the place, man, and you expect people to take you seriously. How has Partey's legs gone in a month and a half? Has he gone off overnight? He's not a peach. He hasn't gone off overnight. He's still a top player. Look at the clubs that are looking for him. And as Nord said, who's looking for Kepa? Who's looking for Norgard? You top gooners, or you, whatever you want to be called, if Chelsea or United or Liverpool or City had signed Norgard and Kepa, yous would be lighting up X, calling them a tin pot club. Look at the way they're moving, signing these scrubs. Look at them signing these scrubs. Darren also says, who was Gabriel before you signed him, North? Did you know who he was? Yes, I did, because I watch football. And on top of that, his move was already in progression from the Emery era. Same with Partey, right? And if you have to go that far back to find a player that's worked under this manager, then you know that you're really scrambling around looking for an excuse. People saying, "Oh yeah, we're always negative. We're always negative." Give me something to be positive about. Don't rock up with Kepa. Don't rock up with Norgard. Give me something to be positive about. Sign a Cherky. Sign a Verts. Give me a manager who knows what he's doing, and I'll be positive. Why don't you click into one of our streams when we're talking about the old days? Watch us light up. Watch how positive we are then. We're just realists. We call it out, telling us just to move on. Life's not that easy, mate. Life's not that easy. The latest generation, especially since COVID, they need to be told everything's perfect all the time. 5-6 times a day, they need daily affirmations. Nothing I do is wrong. Everything's perfect. Life doesn't work that way, mate. Does not work that way. Sometimes things are wrong, and everything about this club is absolutely rotten to the core. And it all comes back to this manager that you seem to love so much. Give us something to be positive about, and we'll be positive. If Zubimendi works, I'll love it. I just think that it's going to take him a long, long time. He should have been brought in. Partey should have been kept, and he should have been edged into the team like all big teams do. You do not throw a player that hasn't played in this league away to Man United first game of the season when he's not used to a high press. You don't throw him in third game of the season away to Liverpool when he's not used to a high press. He needs to be coming off the bench for the first few games of the season. He needs to be sitting on the bench beside Arteta, and Arteta needs to be going, watch what Thomas Partey does. That's going to be you. You need to watch what he does. This league is different. But no, we always pull them out, stop gaps, throw someone straight into the middle of the fire, and he's going to make mistakes. This manager has no clue what he's doing, man. Absolutely no clue. So, Darren, if there was something positive to talk about, we'd be jumping all over it. Sadly, we're sitting here looking at Kepa as our only signing, mate. So just show me how you dress that up.
Do you honestly think, I mean, some of the comments in the chat there saying he hasn't come in to replace Partey. So what are you telling me then? What are you saying? Is it he's coming in to replace Odegaard? Is that what you're telling me? We all know that Arteta is not going to stop playing Odegaard. We all know that. So don't come out with your bullshit, right? He's come in to replace Partey. Fact. Why would you get rid of Partey if you didn't have to bring in another player? Because personally, I'm sorry to have to tell you, some of you guys in there, Darren, right? Partey was a better player.
Can't rely on Partey anymore, he says.
And can I just have... Sorry, Jez, can I just have my 2 cents on this, okay? So he said you can't rely on Thomas Partey anymore. He's had one season fit. Okay, mate. I'll try this one for size then. He's played 130 games for this football club. His record stands at 80 wins, 21 draws, and 29 losses. That's an average of 62.5% win rate. It's not just the fact we're losing it's not the fact we're losing a player who knows how to win. It's the fact we are losing the player that is the only one of a very few that can hold down a number 6 role as a defensive midfielder. One of the only players, apart from maybe Roger and a few others, that can actually put the ball and cut it through the lines. Someone who can someone who can run on the half turn after receiving the ball from Gabriel or William Saliba. That's what we are losing here. It's okay to say we're replacing Zubimendi, replacing Partey and Jorginho with Zubimendi and Norgard, but you're not just losing 2 individuals there. You're losing 2 very experienced players who know what they've done. And okay, Jorginho weren't the greatest, if I could say so. Do you know what would have been the cheapest and the easiest option, guys? You sign Thomas Partey to a 2-year extension, and you move Lewis Skelly from left back and you put him in his actual bloody position. Let him learn behind Thomas Partey for 2 years. And then, because what's the difference in letting Thomas Partey go now for free than it is in 2 years' time for free? You can then have Lewis Skelly learning behind Thomas Partey. And then when Partey goes, Lewis Skelly steps into the 6. Guess what? You've got your replacement now for the next 10 years. Internal solutions, they say. That's your internal solution.
Carl, how many of those Partey losses? Sorry, this is just really quick. Just how many of those Partey losses came when he was playing at right back? The vast majority of them.
I need to do a deep dive on. So
I know who Darren is now, right? He's just crucified himself. right? He answered you, gun down, Carl, right? For calling you a lad. That is what Nelson does. It's the same little melt, and he's just sunk his shit, man. Because anybody, I've only ever seen anybody in the chat call somebody lad. So Darren, Nelson, whatever one you want to call yourself, mate, do one, because you're just talking bullshit. You're just here to troll. Go away. You don't know anything about Arsenal. You couldn't even tell me the other day when you called me out, right? You couldn't even tell me the other day, yeah, that you wanted me to meet you at Woolwich, to go toe to toe, and you couldn't even spell it. And you told me you lived in Woolwich. It's Woolwich, you little melt. Go away. Little boys like you, you're just irrelevant. Go away. Go away. Go back to bed, man. We're adults here. We're actually adults. We actually know about our football club. All of us, all 6 people here, mate. We know the facts. We can actually debate. We can actually say what it's actually all about. Yeah, you can't. You're a little melt. Go away. And when you told me to come and meet you at Woolwich, you couldn't even spell it. You know what I mean? And it's like you made out it was Woolwich Arsenal, Woolwich, right? It's actually Woolwich, right?
Yes,
Move
facts.
on, jog on, boy. Move on.
Partey's missed 81 games to injury since he's been at Arsenal.
Yeah, but he was promised a new contract if he proved his fitness this summer. That's what Arteta said, or this year if he played through the whole year. Norms, Kepa, man, you sent me the video. What are we doing here, man? Apparently, have you got goosebumps, Norms? Have you?
Talk about goosebumps, mate. Sorry, I'm in a different location, so can you hear me, guys? I'm not.
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, I'm in a different location, as you can guess. You can see, I've got the interrogation light on me. They've got me. They want me to come over to the other side. I'm not coming over there, bro. Listen, big up to the chat, big up to the panel. Yeah, this window, guys, absolutely underwhelming. Kepa is here to raise the levels, people. That's what they're saying. He's here to raise the levels. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? One thing, guys. One thing, yeah. If you are a player, don't trust these top gooners, yeah, because they will knife you in the back.
Yeah.
Tell you why. Because Thomas Partey, since he didn't get that contract, yeah, the amount of people that have come out and disrespected this guy. What we're doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What it's absolutely disgusting what these guys are doing. Yeah, everything they've got to justify why this guy needs to move, because now they've got Norgard a year younger than him and can come in and do a job. And Norgard did, because if we didn't let Partey go, Norgard would be here. What would have happened is Partey would have been there with Zubimendi, and on the first day of that game against Man United, Partey starts, yeah, not Zubimendi, because he has to know, because he has to hit the ground running now. And I'm telling you, he's going to get a baptism of fire. And that's why, if you have any sense, people, you'll get Partey to start that game. And as you said, Shane, let him watch and see what Partey does. Because when he was playing for us last season, he was one of the best midfielders, not in just the Premier League, but in Europe. Okay? Yep. And Gundown has also brought it up and said, of those 80 games he missed in the 4 years or so he's been with us. What we doing here? And this is what I can't take. And then it's good business. Yeah, that's the buzzword now. Good business, right? And saying that, you know, somebody said, I can't remember who it was. I think I can't remember who I was watching. Basically, that the combination of Zubimendi's and Norgard won't hit the fee or contract fee that you want for Thomas Partey. What are they talking about? So you're telling me that Zubimendi and Norgard will be on the same amount or less than £200,000 a week? But this is what the top gooners are saying out there. The top fan channels are saying this. They really are disingenuous to this guy. And you know, you give all your time and years to this club, only for them to come around and turn around and stab it, just to justify just to move the goalpost, just to protect Mikel Arteta. Not only that, guys, yeah, we become the Chelsea pensioners club, right? We've spent in the last how many years, £90 million taking rejects from Chelsea. £90 million, yeah, and of that chunk, 65 million of that was on Kai Havertz. Okay, 65 million of that was on Kai Havertz. We are a mediocre team, yeah. And if you think that this team is going to go into this year's season challenging Liverpool and Man City, get out of here. I mean, people saying that we're all on the same level playing field. As a matter of fact, we're just on the same playing field as Man City and Liverpool. Then nobody sees any difference between our current squad and the squad that Liverpool is now building and what Man City are rebuilding. What are people watching here? We could go into next season, yeah, with the starting 11 of Zubimendi in the middle, Madueke on the left-hand side, and possibly a Sesko up front. And that's it. What are we doing here? It is so underwhelming. And yeah, Kepa's been announced. So what? Another reject. What's he going to do? Raise what levels? He's going to raise the levels. Levels of what? But this is what Arsenal do. This is what they do. And as I say, we're no further forward of knowing who's coming. Is it Gokras? 1 minute now we're hearing that Gokras now Berta has sorted it and everything. It's just backwards and forwards. Tennis. It's Wimbledon now, so it's just that now, isn't it? That's all we're doing. Don't know whether we're coming or going.
If you see some of the players we're linked to, that we're linked to. This guy from Monaco, Alcaloche, is I think I don't know. I ain't French. He's 23 years old, right winger. Like,
but also, you said it earlier on, yeah. Where are we placing top players with mediocre players? So Thomas Partey is gone, and you brought in Norgard. Why is it other clubs can sell their players at a premium and bring in better quality players?
Yeah.
Elliot, look at RV Elliot, yeah, is going to go for nearly 50 million or 40 million, and they put a buyback clause in there. How? And we're paying all this money to top strikers, supposedly top strikers, midfielders, whatever you want to call them, cropped strikers on £265,000, £280,000. And what they're giving us? We're a joke, absolute joke, bro. 1st of July.
Can I, mate? Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Can I ask you this question? Can I ask you this? Right, Partey going, yeah. His link-up play with Saka, that's gone. That's out the window now.
Yeah,
I can honestly see this being a regression for Saka because this supposed great player we got coming in, if he ever arrives, let's put it right. Yeah. I think that's going to be a problem for Saka because we've got no longer overlapping players that are going to play with him like that. I think it's a problem.
We're not going to get their through balls. You know, you're not going to get their line breaking balls. You won't do that because Zuberman is not that type of player. And Partey can receive the ball on the afternoon under pressure. I've heard him talking. He can do that under pressure. He can carry the ball and then find that pass in between. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. Yeah. But Zubimendi, he's not as the buzzword is proven. We don't know what we're going to get from Zubimendi. We don't know.
He got bullied by Casemiro, Norms. He got bullied by Casemiro. And Casemiro's legs are gone. Casemiro's legs are gone. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Because he's getting thrown straight into the firing line. He's been brought in for when David Raya has the ball and he rolls it out, a little 5-yard roll out, and he facing the goal, takes it, turns, picks out a pass, right? That's what he's been brought in to slow it down even more. But the difference is in Spain, they all go to a low block from when the opposition keeper has the ball. He's given time to turn. Yes, he might get used to it. But if you remember when Rodri came, he made a lot of mistakes when he first came. He wasn't used to getting pressured like that. But they had Fernandinho still there. So he was just getting in and out of the team, subbed in, subbed out. He didn't just hit the ground running. He was making mistakes. The only difference is that they had an experienced player to come in for the bigger games until he got used to it. You watch now and see. You watch now and see the first few games of the season. And I've said this before. Amarin will tell his players in the lead up to the first game of the season, the second Zubimendi receives that ball, you swamp him. You absolutely swamp him because he's not going to be used to this. Leeds will come, second game. They'll hit a low block, but they'll push forward. The second Zubimendi gets the ball off the keeper. He will make mistakes. And then he's got to go to Liverpool, the kings of the high press. They will have fun with him. So if he starts making mistakes, we got cut out a few times with that last season. Remember, Odegaard received the ball short against Palace, and Mateta knocked into him, and he crumbled like a marionette puppet with the strings cut. You know what I mean? This is going to happen to Zubimendi. Yes, in time, he might get used to it. But before that happens, the damage might be done to his confidence. It might be done to his reputation. If he's making mistakes that lead to goals. Like I said, Partey needs to still be here, and you edge him in. That's how big teams roll. That's how big teams roll. He's going to come in. He's going to get found out. Every manager will be saying, you swamp him. The second he gets the ball, swamp him, because we know that that's what he's going to do. He's just going to roll it out to him, and he's going to get... You watch the first few games of the season, there'll be at least 2 or 3 chances that might lead to goals, you know, or else someone will have to come in and make a last-ditch tackle or something like that. And I'll finish on this. You can be prepared for Royce to have to do twice as much running next season, because if he is stuck up in the left 8, he is going to have to cover this guy an awful lot. And do not be surprised if the next grade 3 hamstring or serious fatigue injury is Declan Rice next season. I can see him dropping very, very early in the season.
No,
then Norgard comes in.
Agreed.
Everything at this football club is addition by subtraction.
Yep.
It's everything we do is addition by subtraction. As soon as we don't bring people in unless somebody leaves. You know, Norgard comes in, everybody's, oh, yeah, you know, it's Norgard, you know. We needed these bodies. We need bodies 2-3 years ago. We're 2 or 3 years too late now. People are running around acting as if this is going to get us over the line. Newsflash, this manager is still at the football club. And I don't care who we bring in. Until this manager is removed from this football club, it's a revolving door. The cycle is going to keep repeating itself. And people will keep looking. These top goons keep looking for every in and out to try to we can do this, rectify the situation. I heard that one today. Rectify the situation. We're rectifying the situation. We're going out here. We're letting Thomas Partey walk out the door, and we all know that if Thomas Partey is not in the team, there's probably the odds are we're probably not winning the game.
Yep.
Now he's out of he's going for a season now. And with the schedule we've got, because everybody thinks it's a game until the schedule. When the schedule comes out, and then when we start playing these games, everybody's gonna start looking around, saying, "Oh well, I think we're short." Jez, we sat there in August last year and told everybody we're short. We need this. We need bodies. We need proper players. We need quality players. All the fan bases here, we need players. So they just accept, oh, well, you know, they can come in, they can do a job. They back to that again, Northside. He can do a job. He can do a job. They can do a job. They can get this. They can do this. Until it's time for them to do the job. Then when it's time for them to do the job, oh, well, you know, it's not good enough, you know. It's amazing how they try to spin this stuff. It's amazing how this fan base, they'll turn on the dime. It is Normski stated. These players better watch their back, because they said they love Thomas Partey. They will go to war for Thomas Partey until it's time for him to get his money.
That's right.
And when it was time for him to get his money and he was shown the door, as Shane stated, now you got everybody coming out with these tripes talking about, oh, well, you know, he was getting old, injury prone, you know, off the field issues.
These,
you know,
same, mate.
Do you know what's mad about this club, mate? Do you know what's mad about this club? Yeah, when it's Man United, yeah, they're like, there's been too many managers trying to build the team. That's why there's, you know, mismanagement of the squad, or there's the squad is in disarray and this and that. This has all been built under one manager, and we had a bench that was ineffective. We got players. We got a DM coming in that is better as a striker. We got wingers that we bought for 3 million that we sold back for 2.5 million that didn't do anything for the club. We've got left wingers that can't. We got left backs that can't defend. We had goalkeepers that we had to pull the plug on because they weren't good enough. Like, this is what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? When it was Man United, yeah, the way that they defend Arteta is crazy because when it was Man United, it was, but they had Van Gaal, they had Mourinho, they had Moyes. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. This has all been cooked by this manager and we're still short. I was watching Welcome to Wrexham and they were saying they had 2 strikers, yeah, Paul Mullin and another guy that they had, yeah. And they helped them get 2 promotions. I think it was like 2 promotions.
Yeah, you got 2 straight with Paul Mullin, yeah.
And Paul Mullin and the other striker was like, yo, I think it's called Ollie or something. He's like, yo, we can't get a game. And the board, the Wrexham board were like, listen, we're going up divisions. We can't, you know, they got to either step up or they got to challenge the strikers that are already there. It is what it is. Paul Mullin, yeah, Ollie Palmer, that's it. Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer said, we're not going to bitch and cry about it. We have to step up to the plate. How the fuck are Wrexham players sounding like that? When it's Arsenal, you're going to block his pathway. But then we can't get a game. But then how's he going to develop? But he doesn't want to come in and hold bench. It's crazy. It's actually crazy to hear Wrexham players talking like, yo, you know, I helped the team. I was part of, all they said was, I was part of the team getting promoted twice and I've been struggling this season, but it's on me. I need to score more goals. How is Wrexham players saying this? But at Arsenal, we have to cuddle you. We need to give you a kiss. Make sure you know your ass is clean. Make sure we put some Johnson & Johnson talcum powder when you go for bed. You know what I mean? Make sure you're all tucked in. It's crazy out here.
It's standard.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a rockabye and a lullaby over here. But other teams, I hear different things. Do you know what I'm saying? Different things. I honestly, I just don't get it. To see this, we're linked to a Porto winger, Pepe. The guy's not good enough. I'll tell you right now, the guy ain't good enough. He ain't going to do anything for us. 28 years old as well. This is what I don't understand.
You notice we doing that now? Have y'all noticed that? You noticed that we're going down.
We're getting all the older players now.
Yeah, we getting the finished players. We're not getting the guys that on the slope that, you know, we're not getting the best of these. But I find it quite amazing. I was going to say this for tomorrow morning, but I say it right now. I find it amazing that when Ivan Toney was available, everybody was talking about age.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you know, he's getting a little, you know, up there in the resale value, this and the third. Now all of a sudden, when you flip it, and Norgard, oh yeah, he's experienced, pre-improving. How is it that we don't get improving? We don't get the best pre-improving experience. Why don't we get the best pre-improving players? Why don't
Matty, they told us, yeah, they prefer Sesko because we get more years. Well, how many years are we gonna get off Norgard then?
Yeah.
How many months? That's what you should be saying. How many months are we getting out of this? Because see, this is what it's come down to. They're reaching for any straw they can find because they know that their time is at hand. Their appointed hour is at hand. This is coming down like a house of cards this year. And you got people acting out. You got people getting online, talking about we doing this and we doing that. Based off of what? We've all sat here at least. I know being Jazz in Northside, I've been sitting here for at least online for the last 4 years here, saying the same thing over and over and over. We're in year 6 with 90% of the same team that we've had the last 3 years. And you're telling me I'm supposed to believe something different is going to happen going into this season based off of us getting a player who Thomas Frank couldn't get any more. You talk about limits. He squeezed that limit as just as much as he could to get something out of it. And then that's the best he could get. And then he didn't even go for it. And then he couldn't even get a kick in over at Hamburg. So then I'm supposed to believe he's going to come in and rejuvenate this team. And then you look at Kepa. Real Madrid didn't want him. Chelsea didn't want him. Oh, yeah, but Arsenal wanted him. Over and over and over. And there's this other brother, Mascara. This other brother they talking about. Oh, well, he's going to come in and he can do this and that. And when you ask the people this question, well, have you watched him play? No, I hadn't seen it, but I think he can do a job. But wait a minute. What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on here? What is going on here? This fan base is without a shadow of a doubt the single biggest problem. The reason why we cannot get quality players in this team is because this fan base jump and they do cartwheels, jumping jacks over the less of these. The most minuscule players in world football that we're linked to, they will hype that player up. And they will
Mediocrity.
that player is the top of the line. I just got through watching Real Madrid and Juventus. And I'm sitting there just looking at the players, thinking to myself, look at these young guys out here. You know, you're sitting there, you're looking at players like Valverde running all over the pitch. You're looking at this Garcia young man out there heading about 3 goals in 5 games, I think, or something along that line. Then you got Yildiz out there. You got Conceição. You're sitting there looking at Nico Gonzalez. I'm just sitting there looking at these players. And I'm saying, this is what our fans
Halal beating City.
players are.
Proper manager. Proper manager.
How can they compete? You know what I mean? But I'm telling you now, Matt, that Bert is looking like a fraud. I saw this guy smiling next to Kepa, This guy is looking like a full-time fraud, bro. I am not convinced with Berta. I'm sorry, I'm already...
It's too easy for him, North, though. It's too easy for him because he's shooting fish in a barrel. It's like Matty said. These overly positive fans think that they're doing good to the club. They're damaging the club because they're accepting mediocrity, as Norm says. It's a culture of mediocrity. They're out there bigging up everything, going, why can't you be positive like me? This is what happens. It's like when you raise your kids. Sometimes you have to be strict with them. Otherwise, they're going to go out into the real world and get absolutely eaten alive. You can see these parents that say, we don't use no in our house. We're always positive. Yeah, well, your kid's 14 and he's pissing in the corner of the room. What's going on? Because you've never taught him any manners and you haven't raised him. Sometimes you have to be critical. This Tony lad's in the chat talking absolute bollocks. He said, oh, well, Norgard and Zubamendi are stat leaders in progressive passing. I asked him twice to explain progressive passing. He doesn't even know what it means. He just read a little stat somewhere. They're number 1 in progressive passing. I'm going to stick by Zubamendi because he looks good on paper, he said. So you haven't even watched them. These are the guys that are... I saw a gal do a whole thing on your man Mosquito, reading off a script about what he's going to add to us. He didn't even know who the chap was a week ago. I haven't done anything on this guy because I haven't watched him. I watched La Liga, not as religiously. I don't watch him as religiously as Lee, right? I do watch it, though, and I've watched Valencia, and he's never stood out. So I don't feel like I'm in an authority to talk about this guy. I've watched Zubamendi a lot. He is a good player, but he needs someone around him. This progressive passing, exactly. The stuff that they come out with, man, is outrageous. You have Moneypenny saying that Norgard is he's a search and destroyer and he wraps the ball well. What does that even mean? He wraps the ball. He's not a Christmas elf. Is he a Christmas elf? What's he wrapping the ball well for? Is he on a construction line? He wraps the ball well. The problem is that these faux intellectuals, they have a following of people that are idiots. And so when they talk fancy, they think, well, he must know what he's talking about because I don't understand these words. No, he doesn't. Trust me. He didn't know half of our sponsors. He didn't know Tony Adams scored against Everton. This guy's an absolute clown and he's out there speaking with authority and all these goons eat it up. Like the cult members they are. Give me more positivity. I need more positivity because no, mate, we're just realists. You can come in here and call us negative all you want. Come in here and call us negative. You see what happens next season. I got berated for saying that we won't get top 5 next season. Oh, you gotta put it on X. I can't believe it. He says it's the lowest point he's ever had as an Arsenal fan. I did my show the next day and I showed Maddie, I showed Jezza, I showed Normski, I showed all these people that have agreed with me this is the lowest they felt. Do you know who backed him up? The man that should remain nameless that got kicked off AFTV. That's the guy that backed him up. So that's who's on your side, mate. I think I'll take my side any day of the week. Realists, people that see what's going on with this club. Absolutely nothing wrong with saying things aren't right. Because how can things ever get better if you keep saying everything's okay? That's why people stay in marriages their whole lives that don't work out. Oh, it's fine. No, it's not. Why are you wearing Ray-Bans all the time? It's not fine. You know what I mean? This is what we have to do as a club. You have to say this isn't good enough. I'll finish on this. What did the Man City owner come out and say? What are the 3 things you want to do next season? Win, win, and win. That's what you need. You need that mentality as a club. We're just, enjoy the journey, guys. We'll be best to the rest, guys. Can you imagine?
Palmer said it by getting Cuesta. He said, short-term goals are linked to the results. Our short-term goals are linked to our results. He's a young manager. Give him time. Give him money. How can he compete against Inter? You know what I'm saying? How can they set that standard for a manager and a club that haven't been great since the 90s?
Yeah.
And yet they say straight away that we got short-term goals and those are linked to results.
No,
so you better reach our goals or you're gonna get fired, basically. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the club.
How many times do you even hear anybody come out and speak like that at Arsenal? I hadn't heard that since the 90s. 2000s. What was the last time you heard somebody come out and say what the objective is, what we should be doing, what success is? You got to go back and find. You got to go back through the archive. You got to go back through. You got to go open up that box in your garage and pull out VHS tapes to find out the last time somebody said something like that.
For real, for real.
Because this football club, this fan base en masse celebrate mediocrity. They bathe in it. When they go take a shower at night, they get their suds of mediocrity and they take a bath. They soap up. They lather in this stuff. This football club is finished. And until, like Shane said about this Money Penny and his Pingus and all these characters, they're characters. They're like a cartoon show. They're like watching The Simpsons. They are just like watching The Simpsons. Everybody has a personality. And then they all get on Twitter. And then they say the most outlandish things. I mean, outlandish. But they do it because they want traction. They do it because they feed. It's the attention. And that's what I told y'all. Arteta is the hope dealer. And they go to him to get the hope. He laughed because he know what it is, what's coming. They go get the hope for him. And then they go right back to Twitter. And then they distribute it amongst themselves. It tastes like a drug enterprise. They go get the dope from Arteta, then they run right to Twitter, and then somebody else take a hit of it, and then it just spread like wildfire. Yeah. And then here we got to come clean up the streets. That's what we patrol. You got Shane patrolling, you got Jez patrolling, Carl patrolling. We trying to clean up the streets. Hey, this is out of order.
What
we crazy. That's how they are, man. We this fan base, especially in the last several months. You would think that we won the league last year the way people are acting. They're acting as if nothing happened last season, the last 2-3 years. Oh, because we finished second. Well, I got news for you. We're not finishing second this year. Nope. We are not finishing second. Nowhere near finishing second this year. And I want to see the look on these people's faces when this season is over with. And I want to hear these excuses because they better start writing them down now because we ain't doing nothing. Me and Jason already. I've been listening to Jez. I was listening to Jez the other day when I was riding, going to Alabama. He's telling you, and I'm telling you, we've been telling you, ain't nothing changing with this manager here. But nobody wants to face that reality. This manager is the same then, he's the same now. It's not changing. This board is the same then, it's the same now. It's not changing. And I'm telling you now, until one of the two change, ain't nothing changing. I'm telling you, it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, this club ain't serious, bro. This club ain't serious because if we were serious, they don't really want a striker. If you want a striker, you know, we already knew even before the window opened that there's not many top strikers. It's a very small bracket at the moment of top strikers. And even some of the top strikers haven't been completely tested. You know, Gyökeres, is he ready for the next step? Osimhen, is he ready for the next step? There's a lot of strikers that were like, okay, are they ready? You know what I mean? Whereas back in the day, we had an abundance of that. Arsenal know they're not a club to get in a bidding war. They know that they're not made of money. If they were really intentional of getting a striker, then that would be priority. I have no problem with Arsenal Football Club going in for a centre-back because that's a position that I want us to strengthen. I have no problem with this football club going in for a winger because that's a position that we need to strengthen. But the priority was a striker. When we went into January, everybody said we need a clinical goal scorer. Go and get your priorities straight. Get the main player that you need and then get the rest of the players that you need over the line. And that has been my issue. And the level of players being linked to this club. And people want to say, oh, but that's not true. Well, we're not getting this player. Well, the best way to end the rumors is start getting players over the line that are of quality. And that will end all the rumors. Then we know what striker we're going with next season. But we're not serious. I don't think this manager wants another striker. I think he's going to use the money excuse as a reason as to why we can't get a striker. You're going to wait to see what club goes in for Gyökeres. We will lose the bidding war if we even try to enter a bidding war. And we'll probably go with Mikel Moreno up front. He'll probably rotate Moreno and Havertz up front and say, well, you know, Moreno and Havertz, they never really had the chance to play together or rotate because Moreno was covering for Havertz. And now that Havertz is back, now we can have two strikers that we can rotate. When in reality, as much as we can sit here and give Moreno props, At the end of the day, is this guy really the answer? As a striker, he's not. He's not. We were happy that he filled in and he done a lot better than what we thought he would do. But come on, he's not the striker to get us 20 goals a season. He's not the striker to score week in, week out. He's not the guy that we can rely on in big games. So it's going to be much of a muchness. I think Ethan is going to be rotation. I'll be real. As it stands for me, Ethan's going to be rotation for Saka. Odegaard's going to have absolutely no competition. Moreno's going to rotate with Havertz. We'll probably end up keeping Martinelli because we can't get rid of him because of the wages. We may go out there and get a cheap left winger. We keep getting linked to now these cheap left wingers. We'll probably do that. And we'll probably go out there and get another defender. We'll probably get Zubimendi. We may get Zubimendi over the line. We already got Norgard. Probably go out there, maybe get another left back. And that's it. It's going to be defensive players coming through the door. And it's not going to be anybody that really takes us up levels. Do I think we're going to get Eze? I mean, I don't understand how we can't get Gyökeres over the line. We can't get Rodrigo, if you are to believe that Rodrigo is unhappy. I mean, we've had all the incentives, yeah? If you're going to go with all the rumours, we've had all the incentives to get these players. Apparently, Gyökeres prefers Arsenal over Man United. Nobody else has been proactive in getting him over the line. Why is he not here? Rodrigo apparently is unhappy at Real Madrid. Okay, so why don't we put the money down and get him here? And all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that Eze, that wants to leave Crystal Palace, 27 years old, is an Arsenal fan. We're going to get him over the line. We're not using the incentive for the other two players, if you believe the rumours. So why am I going to believe it when it's Eze? We're not a proactive club. We are not proactive. So I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I don't know how we don't have the money for Sesko. We're penny pinching when it comes to Zubimendi and Sesko, but we're going to put the money down when it comes to Eze. I don't believe it. I'd love Eze to come here, but I just don't believe it. I don't know. Berta as well. It really pissed me off today to see Berta smiling next to Kepa as if he's doing some masterclass in getting signings over the line. I think this guy absolutely sold us down the river at the last couple of games at the end of the season, sitting there watching the games, looking angry, looking depressed, watching the team. What are you watching? What are you watching to think that the first signing you need the first addition you need at this club is Kepa? And then go in and get Norgard. I'm sorry, man. As it stands, I'm Berta out right now. I don't even care. I'm Berta out. I am not impressed by him getting any of the players over the line. I'm not impressed that he's not using a lot of these players that want moves, that actually want to come to Arsenal, if you believe these rumours. I'm not seeing this guy do. At this moment in time, there is no difference between Berta and Edu. No difference. No difference. Man want to be slaughtering Edu. Oh, Edu didn't get the top players over that, and I agree. But I'm going to keep the same energy. I don't care if I like Berta or if I liked Berta, yeah, and the sound and the CV and everything else like that. When he's come to this football club, I am yet to be excited. I am yet to look and say, okay, this has been an upgrade from Edu. As it stands, he's just an Italian Edu, unable to get the world-class players over the line, unable to use situation, market opportunities. Eze being an Arsenal supporter, Gyökeres wanting to come to Arsenal over Man United, Rodrigo being unhappy at Real Madrid. Well, those are market opportunities. Why are they not here? Why are those players not here then? Sorry, for me, he's a fraud. And if this transfer window ends how I think it's going to end, I'm Berta out straight away. I don't want to hear no bullshit about, oh, he needs time. And I don't care. Move on players. There's enough players at this club to raise a couple of funds. You can raise 60, 70, 80 million pounds in transfer fees. Move these players on and add it to the transfer window. Otherwise, why are you here? I'm sorry, man. I right now.
And also, I actually hear your frustration because, as I say, Berta coming in, I had high hopes in terms of changing the whole strategy of the club, the way we was going to go forward. You know, going and getting those market opportunities and getting the contract sorted out and all of that. And I absolutely get that. And I think he's walked into a massive problem. It's a completely, just as like a lot of these top fans like to say, and I might sound like one right now, where Arteta's come in and which he hasn't, because we finished 8th twice, so let's just put that to bed. What I'm saying is that he has come into a mess of a club in terms of the wages, in terms of Arteta being there himself. And I thought he was going to come in, be in the hierarchy. You know, Josh has come in and said, listen, you need to sort this out now because players are on high wages. They're not cutting it. You know, with second place yet again. What are you going to do? Who are you going to bring in to really change things? And I think that was the hope. And I see both sides of the coin because Matty would just say, listen, sometimes you just have to be patient. And as much, if the biggest problem in this club is Arteta and the owners, yeah, Arteta and the owners. And I think if the strategy is supposed to go the way we want it to go, and if it plays out the way we want to see it play out, where it's giving him enough rope to hang himself, say, well, oh, okay, you've been paid 15.6 million, right? Here are your players, go and get us over the line. If you don't do it and we finish, as it's likely to be, as Shane said, we could finish out the top 4, then that's when hopefully you would think the owners are going to act. But there was a frustration, and I think that frustration comes from every summer, every transfer window, we're always being let down. That is the major problem, is that when we're hoping that we're gonna, every time, you know, you look at Eze, he's got a 68 million buyout clause. Then it's followed up. Well, Arsenal are trying to haggle on the price. It's a buyout clause. That's what they're telling. That's the buyout clause. If you're going to do it in Clara payments, do it in Clara payments, or pay the money down. It's either you got the money or you ain't got the money. So this is the problem, because we've been told that we had this £300 million war chest. Arteta at the end of the season said he is having goosebumps about going into this window and into the new season. So let's see it, and all we can see is Kepa coming through the door, a £5 million reject, who once was the highest goalkeeper. I mean, I think they broke the record, 70 plus million on buying this guy for whatever, and now, yeah, he went out on loan to Real Madrid, Bournemouth, and whatever, and now he's gone back to Chelsea, and we said, yeah, come along, good business here. That's another good bit of good business and that. So it is, and I absolutely hear you, and Northside, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion, because at the moment it's like I'm just waiting, I'm being patient to see what happens. And before anybody says that this is not an echo chamber, because I'm effectively disagreeing with Northside. But is Northside going to kick me off the show? Is he going to call me names? No, it's just that we're just seeing both sides of the coin, and I absolutely respect your opinion. If it's a case, I mean, I think this is the first I'm hearing it here. Berta out. You know what I mean? So I'm great to be part of this show where you've said Berta out, but I think we need to give him time. I don't know how Matty feels about the whole situation, but I just think. Sorry,
I've got a bounce in a minute, but I've got a theory on this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's Berta, right? I think it's more deeper than that. I think personally, the Cronkies are saying, sitting back. I don't think the relationship is all that between Josh right now and Arteta. Pictures, end of season, didn't look like it was a happy camp. Pressure from Berta, right? I don't think we've got a £300 million war chest at all. I think what's happening here is the Cronkies have said, right, you got that money from the Champions League, deal with it. Sort it out. This is where you've got the club. Now you've got to make the difference. And Berta is probably sitting there, watching from afar, looking, assessing, seeing what's going down, and thinking, okay, we'll just chill. Let's see what this manager can actually do. Maybe he's just going to take a back seat in this window and say, right, I've come in to sort of see what's happening here. This manager's got too much control. The Cronkies may be sitting there. It's just a theory. I'm not saying it's fact at all. The Cronkies have sat there, or Josh in particular has said, yeah, well, you had all this and you haven't won nothing. And he actually, was he not the one that a season ago said we want to win major trophies? He said it. and we haven't. So either he's the biggest bullshitter in world football, or he was serious and he's now looking and thinking, is this guy really the man? Is this guy really him? Well, there you are, mate. There's the money from the Champions League, plus maybe another 50 mil, whatever. Get on with it. See what you can do. See what you can get over the line. See what cock up you make of this season.
But that's the thing though. Like when we brought Berta in, it wasn't a we're taking our time and we're building kind of thing. It was to correct the errors of Arteta. Like that's the way it was sold to us. Oh, he's going to take over the transfers and he's the one that's going to be in charge of the player ID because Arteta's failing in that department along with other departments. So it wasn't sold to us as, you know, maybe Jez is right. Obviously, I don't have an inside in the club. We're just all trading ideas and what we think is going on. I can't prove what I'm saying, but that's what it looks like to me. When we got Berta, it was right. Arteta, he's not going to be in charge of getting the players over the line. It's going to be Berta. Now, my problem with Berta is this: why can't you sell players for good value or decent value? Why is it that you're unable to trim the squad the way it needs to be trimmed? Why is it that you can't, if you can't get the elite players, why can't you scout players that, you know, have big potential, or players that are going to kick on, or players that are going to show their value? For example, like Liverpool going in and getting Gravenberch. That first season, Liverpool weren't that impressed. The next season, you know what I'm saying, got the right manager. Look at how we improved. I'm talking about signings like that. Why can't we be smart? Because this club is always, well, not always, but under Wenger, we were smart in the market. So I thought Berta was going to bring that. That he might not always be getting the mega stars. We can understand that. But go get us some ballers that we may not know of, but are going to kick on and be able to get us over the line. Because I grew up on Arsenal buying a lot of players that I didn't know anything about. Players that I was like, I never heard of this guy. Do you know what I'm saying? So you surely, Berta would have asked this club, how much money do I have to play with? What are the contracts of the players currently at the club? Which players are looking to leave? How many players can I bring through? And what areas have you guys already identified that you need to strengthen? Now, for me, either Berta didn't do his due diligence, or you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Because if you have a business here that's failing, you fire the manager, you get a new manager in to try and get the most out of the workforce, and then you get rid of the workforce bit by bit, all the bad eggs, everybody that's not pulling their weight. Because ultimately, as a manager or somebody in leadership, it's down to you to get the most out of the workforce. For me, he's not getting the most out of what's at hand, what he's got, the money that he's got, the players that he can move on, the squad that he's got. I'm not seeing him use the most. Where's this? I thought this guy was good at getting deals over the line, or getting players like a Suarez that we thought were finished, and bringing him to the club and being able to win a league title with Atletico. I thought he was able to do these. So listen, I don't even care about youth project. Go get me players that people may think is over the hill, but they're actually ready to kick us on to win a major honor. If we get a year or two out of a player that pushes us to win a major honor, I don't care. I don't care that we don't get 5-6 years out of the player, because he's here. All these players are here to reach an objective. Win me a major honor. So for me, there's too many question marks right now over Berta. I don't see him. I don't think he's smart in the market right now. I don't see him unearthing any gems. I don't see him getting any bargain deals. I don't see him getting the big players in. And I'm looking at it thinking, okay, but why are we still struggling to offload Martinelli? Why are we struggling to offload Zinchenko? Why are we struggling to offload Kivio? What are you actually good at, Berta? What are you actually doing for my football club? Because I'm not seeing any progression on anything. We still can't lock that the Zubimendi deal. We can't get Gyökeres over the line. What is this guy actually doing? And then
playing the art of deception. Northside is what he is doing. I've said this for a while now. I look at the signings that we're being linked with and the players we're linked to. I'm thinking, apart from the likes of Gyökeres and potentially Eze, the rest. Those are players that freaking Berta wouldn't freaking sell if he was at Real Zaragoza. He wouldn't. I generally do think he's looking at this from a more longer range than what he supposedly is right now. I think I do agree to a certain degree to what Jez has said. I think there is some truth that holds water to it. But also at the same time, you've got to think about this as well. Berto is very good at what he does. But if the connection between him and Arteta is not all rosy in the garden, what do we call that? What do we call that in American sports, Matty? We call it a power struggle, don't we?
Yeah.
And we've seen that many, many times where the GM and the coach, they never get on. And it's always the coach that gets potted. So this is a case of giving him enough rope, you will hang themselves. And I think this is exactly what Berto is doing.
Yeah,
it sucks because we pay the price for it. We pay the price for it because we know it's going to be another season where it fails. But we know, in the great words of the Hot Fuzz, for the greater good, if it covers on next season, whoever we get in, it's a new dawn, it's a new start. Now you judge him what you're going to do with this new era.
But North, I've got a bounce, buddy.
Go ahead, Jez.
Yeah,
Big up, Jez, man. Big up, Jez,
brother.
Big up, Jez.
Enjoy the light show tonight.
Sorry, mate.
Enjoy the light show tonight.
Well, hopefully it's starting to rumble over there in the distance. So I'm going to go sit outside because it's baking hot here, man. Seriously, there's no wind, and I'm like, and I'm just going to go sit out, chill with a bottle of wine, and just wait and see what happens. And it's going to be like, it's going to be biblical, I think is the word.
Goosebumps, Jez. Goosebumps.
Awesome.
Big up,
Big up, Jez.
Matty, legend. Big up, Shane. Big up, Nordsky. Always a pleasure to be on with you, gentlemen. And enjoy the show. And I'm going to go down now, have a walk around the lake, and then go and sit on the bench and just chill and watch. And take care, everyone. Take care. Love you.
Have a good one. Take care, bro.
Take care.
I personally, I think it's more or less it's a case of I knew for a fact we weren't doing anything this season, so we're gonna have to put a year in the hole anyway. And then after that, hopefully by this time next year we'll be able to say, okay, all right, this is what was going on. But I just don't think with the wages that jack this club up. I'm telling you, Arteta and Edu completely have screwed us up, and I'm keeping it PG because I'm on your channel. They have completely screwed this thing all the way up, screwed the moose, because we can't even facilitate decent deals because of the wages that that folks like Zinchenko. People aren't going to want to take that stuff on. This manager has left this team in tatters. In tatters.
But why can't they just tell us, Matty? Because you know what, like clubs, a lot of the time, clubs don't want to let other clubs know that they got money. So if they come out and say we ain't got money, actually works to our advantage, because then we're like, okay, well, any clubs that we're dealing with, don't try and outprice us because we don't have the money to pay up the premium you'd want to put on your player because we're from the Premier League. So just come out and say, listen, we've got a certain budget, and you don't have to reveal the budget, but say, listen, we don't have the money to go and spend and this and that, and just play the whole broke thing. Liverpool been doing it for years. Oh, we're broke. We ain't got money. Oh, we're broke. Liverpool a massive club. Massive club. Liverpool bigger than our club. Let's just be honest about it. They're bigger than our club. So why can't they just come out and tell us, listen, we've got a small budget. Yeah, then you move a certain way, then we can understand. Okay, this player, he may not be world class, but this player I believe is going to be this. Okay, cool. Like Norgard, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'll give him a chance like I gave Timber and I gave Calafiori a chance. Yeah, it's not the signing I would make, but I don't see the logic behind a 31-year-old that's like he ain't gonna get any better, is he? It's kind of what you have. Like,
look at this one. I think Shane might have said this last week, sometime later. I heard it somewhere. This manager, he has basically advertised our players and dropped the value.
Yep.
He drops the value of the players. So when we need to get ready to move somebody, everybody knows he's not getting game time or he's frozen out. So then guess what? That lowers the value of the player. And it kills us every single time. And so when it's time for us to make a move and try to get some business done, we're sitting there trying to, tug of war. I'll tell you something that's crazy. Is that when you look at this whole Sesko situation, they gave you the price last year. Why didn't you go ahead and buy the player, loan him back? This manager is in la la land. Nobody today, We saw Kepa there. We saw Bertie there. But where was the manager at? What was he doing?
Yep.
You're supposed to be geared up for preseason in 2.5 weeks. Two and a half, 3 weeks. You're supposed to be at the facility. Where were you at? Nowhere to be seen.
Do you think? Sorry.
No, go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
Yeah, but do you think that Berta doesn't want him around signings? Do you want him in? Do you want him in talking absolute bollocks about his project and stuff like that, or is he like just stay the fuck away? Because when you had a manager like Wenger, and he brought the young player like Ramsey, he brought him to when Ferguson was asking as well, he brought him to the Emirates and he showed him around and he talked with such class about the way he wants to play football, and Ramsey was swung to sign for Arsenal. You don't want Arteta in there. And I just want to reiterate what you were saying, because I kind of feel for Berta in the sales department. I really do, because he has no sellable assets, none. Yeah. If they haven't been ravaged with injury, they've been their wages are too high. You have AC Milan coming in for Zinchenko and saying, "What's he worth? Oh, 20 million. Well, we'll give you 10 because we can't pay his wage." You know what I mean? You have, and like Maddie said, and I did say that when he makes it plainly obvious that Zinchenko's out of his plans, he did it with Aubameyang. All the cameras were there for that show. Yeah, he made everybody know that Aubameyang was never playing for the club again. So Barcelona came in and Arsenal went, "Oh, give us 10, 15. They said, "We're not giving you anything. You don't even want him. We're doing you a favour here, taking him. You've made it clear that you have to get him off the wage budget. We're doing you a favour. So why don't you just give him to us for free?" In the last 4 or 5 games of the season, when the league was gone, why didn't he play Zinchenko in the 10 every single game? Why didn't he play him in the 10 every single game? He might hit in a screamer. He might play a true ball. Look at Kivior. We were saying about 3 months of the season left, we were going, you'd be lucky to get 15 million for him. He comes in, doesn't even play that well, does okay. He does okay. Now we're saying, oh, you might get 30 million for him because he came in and he played. Other managers have fallen out with players in the past, and it's not known. Players have moved on, and you find out years later they've fallen out with the manager. You didn't know. You move past it. You don't let your personal feelings get in the way. Tierney, we had to let him go on a free because there was no sell-on value for him because he made it so clear he didn't want him. He's frozen out Zinchenko. You know what I mean? He freezes out players and makes it so obvious that they are not part of his plans, that the transfer value just gets absolutely dropped. Then you have the wage. Who is signing Havertz if a new manager comes in and wants to get rid of him? Who's signing him? Nobody's paying that wage. Absolutely nobody. If he says, I don't want to go to Saudi, we're stuck with him. Jesus the same. These are all players that will leave on a free. These are players that will leave on a free. Jesus will leave on a free. Tomiyasu will leave on a free. It's always the same thing over and over again. He has handcuffed this club to the point of Alberta, I don't think, realised the mess he was walking into. He is looking around and going, maybe Martinelli I might get a bit of money for. That's it. Saliba, of course, he'd get money for. But I'm talking about fringe players. Yeah. Maybe you might get a bit of money for Martinelli. That's it. Who was an Emery signing? That was the fines you're talking about, North. Getting in a player for next to nothing. 6 million, get him in. 12 goals in 14 games under Emery. New manager comes in, flogs him, ruins him, turns him into nothing more than a winger that tracks back. That's all he is now. From being a generational talent, as Klopp called him. These players that have sell-on value, Saliba, another Emery signing. You know what I mean? These guys that he signed and put on astronomical wages. Kivior was on $2,000 a week when we signed him. We put him on $58,000 a week. The reason that we have to pay these guys so much is because we have no pull because of this manager. No attacking player with any self-respect wants to play under this manager. That is why we have to pay them so much wage. We have a player in Kai Havertz that is on the same wage as Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes combined. Newcastle have more of a pull than us because they know every player that plays under Eddie Howe gets better. Look at Jacob Murphy. I would have considered him a championship winger 2 years ago. He was one of the best wingers in the league last season. Gordon looked like a risk, absolutely balling out. Claire Balding out the left, balling out for Newcastle. Isak was a risk, balling out. Joe Linton pulled back into midfield. They have the best midfield in England, you could say. If Wirtz works out, maybe Liverpool will. And their 3 midfielders combined are only on $120,000 a week more than Havertz. They didn't have to pay them these wages to get them in because they wanted to go there because they were sold a project. We have players that don't even want to be here that cannot sell them on. And I feel for Berta in that, but I also agree with you, North, that he needs to move better, man. He needs to, if anything, if he was clever, he would have pushed for the big marquee signing first. Keep the crowd happy. Show the new players that you're signing that you're moving well. If I'm a Sesko or Gyökeres and I go, who have you signed? Norgard and Kepa. Yeah, you're all right.
Shane,
I think I'll stay where I am.
Shane, I agree with you there, but this is where we don't know what this match. See, that's when you don't know what Arteta. Who's the one that's No. Going back and forth, going from Sesko to Jokic. Sesko to Jokic. Sesko to Jokic. And I think that's where the problem is. Because I said the same thing. The first thing that should have been done after the season ended, the first signing when the window opened should have been a striker. That should have been
because they're listening to the fans.
Yep.
You as soon as you do that, you say, "Great, you're now listening to us." But yet we have this circus where Berta likes to have two things going on the go. Is it really the case? I think it's just this struggle of Berta wants Gokares and Arteta wants Sesko, right? And then they're going on about trying to get the value down and whatnot. They're both sticking to their guns, and if it doesn't happen, they'll put the price up. And then what will happen is we'll end up losing both of them and end up with Calvert-Lewin.
Yep. Matt Wade.
This is what we do. We mess about too much, and then the last season, what happens? Phone call goes, Sterling. Yeah, no problem. As soon as I heard your voice, I knew you was the one. Come on, get over here. And this is what we do. Unlock it. We're third biggest club in England, and we're going on like this.
This manager,
we are laughing. It's the manager. It's a lot.
I'll tell you, this manager's the problem. I keep telling everybody, this manager, man, the day he leaves this football club is the day we can move forward. Because this brother here, nobody wants to. Shane says it all the time. No self-respecting striker wants to play under this manager. No, nobody is attack-minded. This manager, 11 defensive players. We could fill a team of defensive players to play. Literally, a legit team of defensive players. The way he plays. This manager, the way he acts, the way he talks. People watch this in world football. People see this. Berta has to go out there and try to sell our team to somebody with this fool. Look, they knowing they put a walk into him. They're like, hey man, I like you, but I don't like him. That's basically what it's going. I can get along with you, but I can't get along with him. And so then we end up looking like fools. We get what we're doing is we're getting players that know. I told Lee this the other night. We're getting players that normally they know they would never get a move to Arsenal. But because Arsenal shows up, they'll jump at the move. Folks like Nordegaard. No, it's no way if you'd have asked Nordegaard 5 years ago, hey man, do you ever see yourself playing at Arsenal? Oh man, I would love to go there maybe one day. And then he gets the opportunity. So then he jumps at it. Then you Calafiori. He jumps at it. Zinchenko jumps at it. Jesus jumps at it. But then when it's time to go get the big boys, now you got to try to go to work. And then this is the problem we're running into. This is why we have not had a world-class player come to this team. There's no coincidence we've had no world-class players come to this team while this manager's been here.
That's what I think you're trying to do, man. Like, with an ego like Arteta, it probably hurt his ego that he didn't play for his nation. Probably hurt his ego that he didn't live up to, filling Fabregas's boots. He was never that player to win major honors. And I feel like now he's trying to, that parent that's trying to live their dreams through their kid? Yeah. He's trying to live his player dreams through the managerial dreams. Like, I wasn't a top player, so now I'm going to be a top manager. You know what I mean?
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, you're going to see now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like MJ's dad, like Michael Jackson's dad. You know what I'm saying? Now he's there with the whips and chains. He's there with the cane and everything, the belt and everything, trying to whip these guys into shape. Oh, you must do what I got to do. And I'm going to live, I didn't make it to be a big star. You're going to be a big star now. It's going to be through my leadership. It's all narcissistic control, bro. And that's what I think he's trying to do. And it's kind of like, well, you know what? Yeah. All the praise he's getting as a manager, he never got this level of praise and backing and patience and time as a player. Nope. He thought he was that guy when he's at PSG because, look at me, pictures of Ronaldinho. But Ronaldinho don't remember you. Ronaldinho don't remember you. Do you think he remembers you? Oh, yeah, that time I was in PSG with Arteta. Bro, he don't know you. I bet you any man, he don't even know you. He's like, you? Like, who are you? You putting cons and bibs out? You must have been putting cons and bibs out. I don't remember you. Do you know what I'm saying? He's moving like a groupie. And now that he's getting all this attention, he never had this as a player. So now it's like, I'm that guy now. I told you. See. Now his ego can exist. He can't let go of the ego. The ego was always there. You know when they tell you, certain situations, people just show you who they really were. They just show you who they really were. You know what I mean? And this is what it is, yeah? As soon as he's getting the attention, now we're just seeing who he really was all along. He was always egotistical. He just didn't have the career to back it. And now that he's at Arsenal, he's probably like, yeah, see, I'm that guy. Look at all the praise. I got a fan base that adoring fans that will do anything for me. My guy's moving like the leader of Heaven's Gate. You're looking like a cult. Yeah, I'm saying Heaven's Gate. Come on,
the Branch McKellians.
Yeah,
put this niggas on.
Branch McKellians, man. They're his followers, the Branch McKellians. That's it. They would follow him into a burning building with the DEA outside, and they'd still be going, "You're my Lord and Savior." It's cult mentality. And do you know where else the narcissism comes into it, North? It's with the constantly signing Chelsea rejects, because it's never worked. It's never once worked. So he keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. So when it does work,
because he's a reject, bro.
Because in his head, Lord, he has to be right. So he has to keep doing it until he's right. Because if he has to accept a universe where he's not right, he can't handle it. And same with his followers. They cannot handle it. So he will keep signing Chelsea rejects, because we are getting laughed at now. There's all these memes, everything, Arsenal, Chelsea, all the Chelsea throwing the players into the dump truck, and we're snapping them all up. So the more that he gets slagged about this, or the more that it becomes public that we're signing Chelsea rejects, he will do it again and again and again and again and again, because he wants to prove that he is right. It's the same with playing Partey at right back. It's the same with playing players out of position. He insists on things over and over and over again for the one time that it works. And all the top Gunner fans are the same. They're all the same. They were saying, we're going to beat Madrid. And when we beat Madrid, hold that, apologize, hold that. Well, hang on. You say we're going to win every single game. So you're going to be right once in a while. If you go to a roulette table and say, I'm going to hit green, and you do it 100 times and you get it on the 100th time, you can't turn around and go, told you. Because what about the other 99 times? So they're all the same. That's why they all follow him. And when they sing that song, he knows exactly what we need. And people go, it's such bullshit. It's true. He knows what the top Gooners need. They need excuses. They need sound bites. They need him looking good in merch and press conferences. They need him to keep talking like about the journey and stuff like that. So he does know what they need. They are cult followers, because they will do whatever he says. And he is a cult leader. He knows exactly what to say. And you're so spot on with that, Nord. He is trying to live vicariously through the players that he has. He's trying to make them something that they're not, because he wishes that had to happen for him. And it's craziness, man. And it's just going to get worse, because he's going to be under pressure next season, pressure he's never faced before. And we've seen when he's under pressure, the rare times you get asked a hard question, like you got asked after the PSG game, and he stared you one down. He's going to start getting a few more of them. Hopefully, it's not just all the semi-U's and stuff like that in the press conferences. Hopefully, a few proper reporters start getting in and asking the hard questions. And once he starts getting pressure on him, he's going to start making ridiculous decisions, and he's going to say ridiculous things, and his house of cards is going to collapse around him, because it's already wobbling, man.
Bro, if he wants to back himself, yeah, we can say anything we want to say, yeah, about Ange. That guy backed himself. He said, I always win something in my second season. And he stuck to that. He put a target as to what he's going to achieve in the second season, and he achieved it. I got to respect that. Because it's not like he had all the backing in the world, or the time in the world, or the money in the world. You know what I'm saying? The fan base were half against him, if not more. Do you know what I'm saying? The ownership were already looking at him like, yo, what's going on? The squad probably were losing belief in him after 20 losses in the season. You already know a lot of that changing room's probably against you. You know, they're not really playing for you. They're not really believing in you. But got 20 L's. Do you know what I'm saying? How much and the players are getting the slack as well. But he said, I always win something in my second season. And this manager will never, ever, ever tell us what we're going to achieve next season, ever. All he says is, I always want more. Then he talks about points totals. Then he talks about injuries. If anybody else had these injuries, he's a coward, bro. Let me get through some of these super chats real quick. Naval, big up to you. He's got tic-tac. He's got tic-tactics in his brain. Arteta, corner shop settings, cheap buys with cheap standards. Big up to you, bro, for the super chat. T.Guna. Big up to you. They move quickly on these scrubs, so I'm not holding my breath for Rodrigo, Eze, or Gyökeres sad times. Yeah, all of a sudden, there's no hold up when it's the scrubs, isn't it? No hold up. Big up to you. Andy Hart, big up to you, bro. You've been a member for 25 months. Big up to you. Ironic, isn't it, that Arsenal, Man United, 90s, early 2000s powerhouses in the mud now, struggling with wage structure, sad days. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Let me just get to this one here. Sorry. Let me get to this one here. Naval, big up to you. You know how you can find out your manager sorry, you know how you can find out your manager in seconds? Because before you sign, you have to have the conversation. A player will work out a manager in seconds by the manager's standards and clubs. Key detail. Big up to you. Big up. Sorry, what was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, this manager and this brother here knocked it out the park on that last super chat there. It's several things here when it comes to this brother. You hit on one. He never mentions his objective. Never mentions his objective. Then he circles back. He plays up to the crowd. He knows what to say to get the fan base. He knows. He knows there are people online singing the hair clippers about him. He knows this. He knows that the likes of Igal, that the Arteta defense force will start patrolling. He knows this.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it this past season. He said if anybody else coached this team, they would be at the bottom of the table. This is a brother who ain't won nothing. He's like, oh well, I've won 3 trophies, knowing that the dinner plate doesn't count. The arrogance of this manager is something I hadn't seen anything like this in all my life of living. All my sports, I've watched all kinds of sports. I've never seen anything like this. This man, this fan base has made him God status. They have placed him on the level of a god, and they worship at the altar, at the altar of Arteta. They worship. We bow down before you. That's what they do. They worship. They worship this man.
And slag off Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
He comes out this year and says, "Hey man, why are Arsenal players always getting injured?" Now, if he sees it, we see it. So we're not crazy. But then the fan base, he's just jealous. Jealous of what? I mean, y'all saw me pull up that article from that brother in Africa. He's jealous. Man is won World Cups. I'm talking about jealous. This manager is an absolute albatross. And I'm telling you all, this year will be the year. Because that schedule, listen to me, that schedule this year, there is no hiding. There was no hiding last year, but there's definitely no hiding this year. There's absolutely nowhere to run. The first 6 games, he's gonna be up under all kinds of pressure. I'm talking like he's gonna be up under pressure like Mike Tyson in a spelling bee. He's gonna be up under all kinds of serious pressure. He's gonna be in the cooker. And then by the time we get to this Champions League, oh man, I got a feeling this year we're gonna get a big boy this year. And I'm telling you, you better hope it ain't PSG, and you damn sure better hope it ain't Real Madrid, because they're gonna have payback on their mind. Because Arsenal fans like to write checks that their ass can't cash. And so they're gonna find out what time it is. And I'm telling you all, the fall from grace from this manager this year is gonna be biblical. It's gonna be biblical. This is why I keep saying Isle of Patmos. Just get ready. Isle of Patmos. When we're out of everything, and Shane is doing that Irish breakfast, and he going through those lists of them games, L, draw, win, L, going through like that. Y'all are gonna see. Y'all gonna look back and say, "Man, Matt was right again." I said, "I've been trying to tell y'all this for the last few years. I know this. How do you know this so good? Because I used to be a coach. I know a fraud when I see one. I've coached against frauds. I know frauds. I used to see the one dude that would dress up like he was the coach, like he knew what he was doing. He'd have on the trainers, the windsuit, the clipboard. He trying to draw and tell people basic stuff. And I look over at my homeboy Chris and I go, "Yeah, we finna go ahead to school and we'll go ahead and put him in the street. This is the one that thinks he's a coach. We'll go ahead and finish him off. We'll go ahead and finish him off early." That's what other coaches do with Arteta. This is why I always tell y'all, anybody that's got any sense, when they go against Arteta, they snuff him out within 15 minutes. This manager is a complete fraud. He was a fraud when we got him. He was a fraud when he played for us, and he's gonna be a fraud when he finally departs. And I hope every last one of those Arsenal supporters that love him, follow him wherever he go
Mhm.
because it'll make my life a hell of a lot easier.
Now, facts, man. Big up to you guys, man. I was only going to keep you lot for an hour, but I appreciate.
Can I just say one last thing before
Yeah,
we
go on.
wrap
Shout
up?
out your channel. We'll start with you. Shout out your channel. Last
Yeah.
words. Karnowski.
Last one. So just quickly, just to say, yeah, I was just doing a bit of accountant work, okay? And you know, you sort of saying Arteta's not had it better, yeah. He probably come out as a failed footballer, right? And he's thinking, well, I've got to do something. Now I'm a manager for Arsenal, and I've worked out that when he joined Arsenal back in 2013, and he done it for like 3 seasons there, he earned a gross of 10,665,582 pence. That equates to 3,555,194 pence per year. The man now has been paid 15.6 million. How he has landed on his feet.
Mhm. Yep.
Why do you think he ain't gonna leave this club? He ain't going out with a fight, mate. As long as I'm getting that money, that piece of change, that's what it is. And Normski TV going live tomorrow, 6:30. What's Going On podcast. We will be discussing the Kepa deal and all the other deals that we ain't getting. Big up.
Now, big up, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Normski. Link is in the title. Big up to Normski every single time. Carl, shout your thing out, bro, where people can find you, man.
Yeah, well, you'll find me in my sweat box right now because it's not in a good way. You'll find my channel, Gun Down UK. I've uploaded a video literally a couple of hours ago, basically a reaction to the Kepa signing. So it's only 5 minutes long, so it's not going to saturate your brain enough. So go check it out when you get the opportunity to. We'll do a Take Aim podcast tomorrow night if I can do. And I'll be on multiple shows over the week with Shane, with the Bruised Banana, with Aaron on the call-in show. And yeah, so we got a fair bit coming up. And my Al Hilal team, quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. So well done to them to knock out Man City last night. I was shocked when I saw the result. I was like, what the hell happened there? 2 more games, and yeah, me and Lee are going to run it back, hopefully. Anyway, so yeah, big up chat, big up the panel.
Now, big up every time, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Gun Down UK. Link is in the title as well. Shane, big up to you, bro. Shout out your channel, man.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed this stream, actually. I really enjoyed it. Big up to everybody on the panel, of course, and the wonderful chat. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning, of course, with the full Irish at 10:30. 10:30 every morning. We'll be going through this amazing Kepa signing as well, and just having a general laugh. I'm even thinking of that. A show came to me that it has to call it laugh or cry, because that's what this fucking club does to me, man. You know what I mean? It's either laugh or cry. You know what I mean? But yeah, back at 10:30 tomorrow morning for the full Irish. Then I'm on with the legend that is Rashid. I think 4:00 tomorrow as well. And then on Thursday night will be the Bruised Banana panel show, which is really taking off on Thursday nights. And then me and DJB have a looks like a one-off show at the moment in the works, for where we go through our favorite retro jerseys, just something a bit away from football, and well, it is football, but away from Arsenal, and a bit more fun. But yeah, big up for having me on, man. Absolute pleasure, and big up to everybody else.
Now, big up, man. Shane, go and make sure you subscribe. Link in the title. Everyone's link is in the title. And Matty.
Go ahead and
you
pull
still
that
believing
up
in the cult? Heaven's Gate?
Go ahead and pull this up right here. But I just got here. This is what's coming tomorrow. Go ahead and pull this up. Go ahead and pull this up right there tomorrow. And guess what? I'm getting up out of my bed early tomorrow. I'm getting up 7 a.m. my time. It'll be noon UK time. There will be some serious cooking tomorrow. Some feelings will be hurt tomorrow. I'm just letting y'all. I'm just putting everybody on notice. I have got stuff lined up. These people need to be called out. This fan base is the sole reason why we have not had any success the last 6 years.
We're there, Matty. We're there with you. I'm there with you, Matty.
Tomorrow, 7 a.m., noon UK, Spanish time, in case Lee catches this on a replay, 1 p.m. your time, brother. We here tomorrow. We here.
Believe in the cult, Matty. Believe in the Arteta Gate, man.
All seeing eye.
Well,
we might as well get Diamond Knives back here. You know what I mean? We'll get Diamond Knives. Oh my days. Nah, listen, big up to all of you guys, man. Big up to all of you lot. Make sure you're subscribing to the whole panel. Everyone's link is in the title. Make sure you're subscribing and supporting the man there. We're going to redirect to Don Hussam. And yeah, man. Everyone raid. Hussam said slot out. Yeah? So make sure you raid. Hussam said his analysis is slot out. We will not forget he said this as soon as this manager joined, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? So big up to everyone that's locked in. We're redirecting to Don Hussam, Northside raid. Hussam, you said slot out. You said FSG out. Yeah? Make your apologies as loud as your criticisms. We're out. Love.
Gente, to anyone outside the UK, whenever the UK bitches about a heatwave, being like, it's only 27 degrees. Over here, we're at 40 degrees and chilling and cooling, relaxing, all cool. Fuck off. You haven't been in this city. It's a brick house city. It's hot all the fucking time. Yo soy canario en Las Palmas. Llévame a Wiwi, llévame a Las Palomas. I've dealt with 30 plus degree heat. There's no fucking air in this city. No hay aire. Nada. You get on the tube, you get on the yoga. It's all shit. And people love queuing very close to each other. It's hot. So, when you see me bitching about 27 grados, 27 degrees, know that 27 in Canarias, with a bit of brisa, a bit of breeze, good vibes. But here, depression sticks to you like heat. So I'm not hearing shit from anyone that's not in this fuck-ass country talking about the weather. Stay hydrated, people, and wear sun.
What are you talking about?
We need more goals. We need more quality, but we're not just talking about
January.
We're not just gonna bring in anybody. We need to bring in quality, but not just anybody, right?
Why did we bring January? Why did we bring in Sterling?
Because when they brought in Sterling, they made the mistake of just bringing in anybody.
Exactly.